Many times you said leadership is very important for the development of a country. But say Japan, Germany, or EU countries, these nations developed very rapidly after the Second World War, despite not having any good leaders. And now they are almost developed countries. Well, the EU is fully developed. Japan was definitely fully developed. Germany as well. So, do you agree that leadership did not really play much of a role for the development of these nations, but their education policies played a much bigger role during the time of development? What are your thoughts? Interesting question, and I'm glad that people try and find loopholes so that they can challenge various statements, which is good. Which is good. So, what's the deal? I have always said, and I still say, that leadership is the most crucial thing that a nation has. Without great leadership, you will never have a good future. The quality of leadership is the most important thing in the long term development, in the long term future of a nation. Think about it like this. Let's say you have, I have spoken about this before, but let me give you this example again so that you understand. Okay. Let's say you have a nation whose inhabitants are sheep. Sheep, sheep. So you have a nation whose inhabitants are sheep. None of these sheep has any leadership qualities. No good leaders. Okay, but they have the good shepherd who takes care of them, and they have territorial integrity. The enclosure of the sheep is taken care of. No wolf can come inside, and the sheep have a great lifestyle. They have tremendous development. They have good facilities for sleeping, for shelter against the wind and the rain and whatnot. They have copious quantities of food, and they are all in great health. Free healthcare is there. Everything is great. Okay, fully developed nation of the sheep, but no leaders. But what's really happening? What's really happening? Every day, one or two sheep disappear, right? Where do they go? They think they're going somewhere for a walk and all, and eventually they realize they've reached the slaughterhouse. So so that's an example for you to kind of ponder about. Okay, development isn't enough. Do these wonderful sheep who are enjoying this luxurious lifestyle, do they have the right to self-determination? Do they have self-determination? Do their descendants have a great long-term future, prosperity, independence, self-determination? Do 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 they have self-determination in terms of their lifestyle and culture? No, they are following a lifestyle imposed on them by somebody else. Sheep actually want to climb hills and be in rugged places, but they are being made to sit in a large enclosure and just relax. It's an unnatural lifestyle for them. So my point is this: Japan is a nation under foreign occupation, US occupation, permanent US occupation. So is Germany. The US needed to create an alternative to the system that the USSR was showing to the world. So they needed nations to encircle the USSR. They needed the entire Western world, the NATO dominated world, to emerge. And they needed these countries to be powerful and prosperous, but controlled by them. Okay? And they needed to show the world that, see, our system is better. The nations where you have the American system, the Western led system, these nations are prosperous. They have good lifestyles, great living standards, great economies. But who did these economies serve? They served the US, because all of these nations were, well, part of the, what do you call it? The the US dollar was king, wasn't it? And when it comes to the Bank of Japan, when it comes to every single decision taken by Japan in terms of foreign policy, economic policy, military policy, it was all dictated by the US. So it served the US interest. The same goes for Germany. Yes, these nations were prosperous, but these nations can be destroyed like that. What's happening to Japan now? It was the world's second largest economy in the 80s. It was threatening to surpass the US. Today, Japan is becoming a middle income nation. It's going backwards, backwards, backwards. Look at Germany, it's under recession. How did this happen to Japan? How did this happen to Germany? Well, read up the Plaza Accords. The Americans destroyed the Japanese economy in a very slow motion decline since the 80s. What happened to Germany? Nord Stream 2. The Germans needed, any powerful economic machine needs copious and cheap energy. You Cut that off, the economy dies. It starves. That's what's happening to Germany right now. Germany is in recession. The economic miracle is over. The Americans can create this, they can destroy this. You may have a well developed country, but if the fate of your nation is not in your hands or in the hands of leaders who genuinely represent you, then you can be taken out anytime. And that's what's happening right now. Leadership is crucial, it is critical, it is non negotiable. Oh, yes, I have great living standards. Tomorrow it will be taken away. But then what? Your fate, your destiny has to be in your own hands. Okay? Development without being in control of your destiny means you are being developed for somebody else's benefit. The sheep are being fattened so that they can be slaughtered when the time is right. That's the deal. Leadership is critical, it is crucial, it is non negotiable. Let's say a very bad hypothetical example, which will never happen, but let's say India becomes a US vassal or a Chinese vassal. Okay, right now it's not. Let's say it happens. And they develop India. Okay, they impose a wonderful education system on India, and they give great living standards and all, and they will make sure that your culture is wiped out and you become a market for them to dump their goods in, and you don't produce anything but you only give services. And then when the time is right, they will pull the plug and everything will disappear and you will have nothing left. So you don't want that. You need great leadership. Great leadership is non-negotiable, it is critical. Without that, you are nothing, you're dead. Please understand that. Please understand that.